Hey everybody, day one of the NFL free agency signing period is in the books, and the big storyline for the Jets is still no quarterback for them besides Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty on the roster. Let's go ahead and run through some of their options here at this point. Mike Glennon is off the table, Tyrod Taylor off the table, Brian Hoyer off the table. So where do the Jets go from here? Jay Cutler is available. The Bears cut him. He's an aging quarterback who struggled with injuries last year. Wouldn't be the worst option. If the Jets wanted to go younger, they could trade for Trevor Siemian, who's playing for the Broncos. That depends probably on whether the Broncos are able to get Tony Romo, who still has not yet been released by the Cowboys. So that domino is waiting to fall potentially in Denver before Trevor Siemian could probably be available. It'd be interesting to see what the Jets would be able to would have to give up in terms of getting Trevor Siemian from the Broncos. Colin Kaepernick is available, having opted out of his contract with the 49ers. So you have Kaepernick, Cutler, Siemian. Those are probably your top tier options for the Jets because Hoyer, Tyrod Taylor, and Glennon are not available at this point. Some of the lesser options, it doesn't look like the Jets are interested in Nick Foles, who had his option declined by the Chiefs. Look, Geno Smith is an in-house guy now that even though he's technically an unrestricted free agent, would the Jets perhaps bring him back? That'd be something to watch. A potential trade perhaps with the Eagles involving Chase Daniel. Again, as with the Siemian situation, it probably depends on what the Jets, from their perspective, would have to give up for a guy like Daniel or Siemian. RG3, Robert Griffin III, could be the odd man out in Cleveland with the Browns there. If they decide to cut him, would the Jets go after RG3? Look, I mean, he's not a very productive player at this point in his career. And Brock Osweiler, I know, it wouldn't probably be the worst idea in the world, which is something that my colleague Connor Hughes had brought up. But I don't see that happening. Osweiler was terrible last season with the Texans, and there's a reason they unloaded him. He's not going to be staying in Cleveland, but I don't see him ending up with the Jets. I guess you never know what might happen, though, in free agency. So I think the top tier guys the Jets could be looking at: Colin Kaepernick, in no particular order, Colin Kaepernick, Jay Cutler, Trevor Siemian, and some of the lower tier guys of Nick Foles, who doesn't appear to be on the Jets' radar, Brock Osweiler, maybe, Robert Griffin III, maybe, Geno Smith, don't rule it out, and a Chase Daniel trade with the Eagles is sort of the dark horse thing here. A lot of things obviously depend on what happens next with Tony Romo, and also if the Browns are able to use some of those draft picks and leverage them, the picks they've been stockpiling, and leverage them for a potential trade with the Patriots for Jimmy Garoppolo. So we'll see how all that shakes out, and we'll see if Friday, second day of the free agency signing period, ends with the Jets having a third quarterback on their roster.